All right, guys, well, last night I kind of fell down the rabbit hole of weight reduction. It was all I could think about. It's all I can think about right now. So that means it's time to pull a few pounds out of this car. I don't know how much I'll be able to pull out, but I'm just gonna try to take off anything I can, any little thing I can. So I got this bucket here, and I'm gonna try to fill it up with bits of metal. Anything I can put in there, I'm gonna try to put in there. If I can cut off any piece that doesn't structurally affect this car, that I don't need, anything, like, just you guys are gonna be probably surprised some of this stuff I cut off here. So one of the things I want to get out is this piece right here, this whole inner fender well. Not exactly needed. The only thing mounted to it is this. This is mounted to the frame. It just happens to be right there, so don't need all this. I'd like to do a tube front end, but I don't really want to tear into all that yet. That's kind of a big job, and I'll save that for later. Where the engine mounts is far enough back to where with the engine in we could cut the frame and tube it without really any issue, so I'm not too worried about it. This one's already cut out a little bit, but could be cut out more. I got my weapons of destruction here, and we're gonna start cutting, see what we can get. I'm gonna pull off that passenger side fender, see what I can get out. There's a couple things I want to get out from the door. It's measuring the wheels, maybe titanium bolts, I don't know yet. Titanium exhaust would be awesome. There's a couple pieces in this door area, in the latch area, that I don't think I need. There's a couple of pieces on the roof structure that I don't believe I need. So if I could cut those out, that would be sweet. Really, that's kind of just it, that kind of stuff. If I can fill up this bucket with any miscellaneous piece I can, I'm gonna do that. So ounces become pounds. That's the thought process here. Ounces become pounds. Even just like little stupid things like pieces of this. Down low, there's a bunch of support that I don't need. There's just things that aren't needed. So let's get to it. So fender is off. I just weighed this. These fenders are 8 pounds each. Probably nothing to be gained there. This right here, this inner structure, I don't believe as being necessary. If it is, then tough break, because I'm about to cut it out. I'm gonna leave a bunch of it, but I mean, the strut tower, I don't know structurally wise, but I'm probably gonna either put a bunch of hole saws in there, kind of like how GM did it right here, or just cut it and take this out. Even like this right here is really strong, and I don't know. I have the drill bits to drill out these, but I don't know if that's fully gonna be a great idea, because they're a pain in the ass to drill out. And then this bracket I wanted to take off too, if I could take off like this spring and everything. And then this guy doesn't need to be there. There's not even anything in that. So if I could take off some of that stuff, be cool too. Make this door maybe swing a little freer. Try it out on this side, and then maybe do it on the driver's side if I want to. There's so much random pieces of metal, but it's hard to know what is integral for structure and what is not necessary, if you guys know what I mean. Like, some of it may be just crash stuff for safety stuff back in the 90s. Some of it may be needed because if I come down from a wheelie again, I may just bend the front end. Part of that is just a risk I should probably just take and start cutting. No, Bowser, you don't need to go deeper into the shop. Stop. Go this way. You stubborn freaking tortoise, dude. You probably just dented the Mustang's fuel tank. Stop it, Bowser. That way. That way. Yeah, you're not going under there, dude. What do you think this is? What do you think you're doing? You're way too tall for that. You're not making it under there. Don't scratch it. Look at that, he's lifting the whole car up just slightly. Hey, hey! Jeez, you're gonna hurt yourself. Oh, the car. It's amazing how strong these things are. You saw him just lift the whole freaking car. Out you go, dude. Exits that way, bud. So, I posted some of the weight reduction, and everybody says tube front end. And I've always been on the idea of, oh, yes, tube front end. That would be a huge weight savings. So I did some research, and it seems like the tube front end is listed at takes 50 pounds off the car, off the front of the car, which sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But I'm starting to think, it wouldn't take 50 pounds off of this car, mostly because, like, I don't know what they weighed when they did it. Obviously nothing against the companies that make these. I just thinking out loud here, talking about it. So everything's mounted to this front end. Normally, if you guys know F-bodies, there's a big piece of metal right here, the actual bumper. That's like a thick, double-walled steel beam that is like the main crash support. That's been gone. Then the other foam crash support, that's pretty heavy and thick, that's been gone also. We have just tubes down here that Profab made, and then my trans cooler is mounted to that. So that's already all gone, all that junk. Then on top of that, the latch is gone on both sides, so there's more weight there gone already, and that stuff's all heavy. And then we have a stand-up radiator, so this is all cut up and modified. The lower's all cut up and modified. And then now I cut this guy out, which is also part of what the tube front end does. They actually cut out a little bit less. It looks a little different, probably a little nicer looking, but I just went for it and cut out all of it. Probably do the same on the other side, but you know, I'm doing one side at a time. And then they cut here, so that's all gone. But obviously they cut here forward. So obviously it saves a lot of weight, but I don't think for me particularly, it would save 50 pounds. I really don't, because all this stuff has to get remounted anyways. The intercooler has to get remounted, radiator, the fuel system that goes right over here, the trans cooler, headlights, like all that stuff has to get remounted. So once all is included, I would venture to guess I don't save more than 25 pounds. That would be my guess. I may be wrong. Maybe some of you guys that have done it know better what you cut off, but with all that stuff already being gone, and like normally up here there's also a windshield wiper reservoir. That's been gone, and this is plastic right here, and a couple metal brackets, but like it's really not all that much besides these two front frame rails that would really be gone, that wouldn't be just added back. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Am I crazy here? But I feel like I am just going down, when I do that, I'm doing a big thing for littler gain than I may be thinking, because most of that stuff's already gone, most of the heavy stuff. And like even all this tube stuff is really nice already. Now I got my tow hook. But I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Well, I've really lost it on this one. Look at this. So this kick panel. Oh my. That piece of metal was so freaking thick. It's like a 4-pound piece of metal all in itself. I just need, this piece is broken down here. This one's broken. It was broken when I pulled it off. But look at, this is the metal that came out of there. It's very, very thick. 3 layers in some spots, 2 layers right there. And this is just half of it, so. The bucket is getting filled up, slowly but surely. But this one's kind of nice because you don't really notice it. And then another, like, oddly heavy piece, like the door doesn't have a spring in it now. which it's not like that heavy, but it does make the door actually feel lighter. It used to feel really heavy with the spring in there. So if I can get a new one of these, actually I have another F body. I could just go check if it has that one. But where's that spring? This, just like little things like this, like a couple ounces here and there, adds up pretty quick. So like I said, passenger side first, but the door doesn't have much left in it that I could just cut out without making it, without making the door card not really hold on to it. We are making progress. So that bucket right now has 12 pounds in it, and that is just the one side. I don't know if I showed you guys also, but I cut the hood a little bit more, so this whole piece right here, so I can do the same to that side. So if I can basically take another 10-15 pounds off of that side and then another couple pounds off of this side, we're looking pretty good. I mean, 30 pounds ish. If I can get 30 pounds off of this for free, I'll be pretty happy. All right, well, I just have absolutely no idea where we're at in this video. I have been spending the last few days just cutting things off of this car. Henry, how you doing over here? There's no grass in here, so I would just stay right over there, dude. Nope, bad idea. Bad idea. You don't want to come over here. Stay over here. We'll talk. So, this is my bucket of scrap metal that I have pulled out of this car. None of it was pulled out in the cleanest fashion, all with a cutoff wheel Sawzall, and just pure brute. Like some stuff I would just, like brackets, you can just kind of wiggle a bunch and then they'll just break off. Honestly, that's nicer and better than doing it with a cutoff wheel. I hate cutoff wheel in the car because it just makes so many sparks and there's no way to really make that not a huge mess. And then the Sawzall is hard to get into small places. Even the cutoff wheel is, but whatever. So some of the stuff I've cut is like this. I cut this little thing out right here. I'm not finished yet. I'm still gonna clean that up, but like there was double layer metal right there. So that's gone. Under here, there's two brackets that were here. Brackets, just like miscellaneous brackets. I cut that off. Like there's random stuff that didn't need to be here. Up here, I cut these right here. There was like more just material right there, double layer stuff, and then I kind of hammered it in. Not finished hammering stuff yet because that's my kind of finishing technique. In the car, I cut out a bunch more stuff. In the engine bay, I cut out a bunch more stuff, and this is where it leaves us. So the weight is 19.6 pounds. So I need to take off like a half a pound more. So freaking close. So close. So I'm getting there, working on it. Pull that half a pound more out. But that's been kind of my goal. There's definitely some more stuff in the front, but like I said, tube front end eventually, but it's not really huge on my list right now. I'm trying for the free weight reduction. All right, well, that is gonna do it. I am sweating. I am dying over here. Yeah, so pretty happy with what we've accomplished thus far. 20 pounds of free weight taken out of the car. There's probably, I know there's a good amount more. There's a lot of things I want to do. Lexan rear glass is on my list. I'd like to cut out all the roof structure, but without taking this off, it's very difficult, and I'm just very apprehensive to pull this sail panel and roof off because you don't really get them off without destroying them. So just a little apprehensive on that. The front end, there's definitely some weight to be had. I could probably pull the radiator out and start trimming up a bunch of this stuff too. There's some good trimming to be had, so that's next on my list. But I've been just slaving away on this thing. Hopefully the next pass around we'll be able to have a 10-pound bucket, and then if we can have 30 pounds of just free weight reduction, and then we get into everything that costs a lot of money. There's a lot of things I don't want to sacrifice. I like the hatch being able to open like this. I like the hood being able to open like this. I like the doors to be able to lock and crank up and down. It's just like, there's a lot of things I don't want to sacrifice. Dashboard is fiberglass one piece. Center console is basically nothing. but it keeps the full interior-ish look. Carpet is one single sheet thin carpet, so weight-wise there's not really anything. There's no sound deadening in the car. There was just no sound deadening when I bought it. Still have to get in there and trim up some stuff into the back. Over here on this side, I can trim this one out, but I got to pull out the bottle because it's pretty tough to get in there. But these are really tough to get to on this side. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just worried about taking too much out to where we come to a point where it's just, you know, the chassis might be flexing more, because I don't have like subframe connectors and stuff. I didn't want to add that weight. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but it is what it is. In the engine bay, I don't know if I showed you guys, but right here, I didn't like how much I cut out. It looked a little weird, so I wanted to match that side. So I cut it more. I cut the piece that I cut out, put it back in, tack welded it, laid some seam sealer, sanded it down, and this is like some panel bond. And now I'm just letting it dry, and then I'll just hit it with some paint. I'll probably sand it more once it dries more, but then I can just hit it with some paint and it'll look pretty much the same. It looks terrible right now, but once it's all said and done, it'll look exactly like that one, hopefully, or close enough. But yeah, the hood still has some structure on it. I'm back and forth on getting rid of that latch. I have the two latches, but then I just left that one as like a safety emergency one, just another one. Probably could cut more of this hood structure out, but I don't want to get to a point where it's just like flopping and flexing too much. That's always my worry. I mean, you can make a car really light, but if it's just flexing, and if like things like 60 foot suffer and rigidity of the chassis suffer, then is the weight really worth it? That's my always back and forth, and I don't want to see the hood flex any more than I normally do. But cut out a good amount of it and took the glue off and all that, so it's not too bad. I'll probably get these guys right there next pass, and hopefully we can get another bucket filled with 10 pounds before this whole weight reduction project is over. And I took out a bunch from back here, but yeah, good amount so far. There's obviously more to come, but that's where I'm at right now. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you for watching. Keep it saucy. I'll see you next time.